Hey there, everybody. Franklin Taggart here, and it is time for a virtual coffee break. This is the late Sunday afternoon edition. Alrighty then, I've got my coffee. Grab your beverage and let's have a chat for just a minute, shall we? I do a lot of work with people on planning, strategizing, goal setting, things like that. And one of the things that I have found to be the most helpful is to not jump right into a plan or a strategy or goals or measures or any of that kind of stuff until we've answered some questions about something else. That something else that I think is actually as important, if not more important than anything else to understand before you start making plans for yourself, is how do you want to spend your time? Now, I work with a lot of creative people, and there are a number of them that just are really, they want to be successful financially as well as in their creative pursuits. And one of the things that we've always got to look at is how much time do you want to devote to the business part of what needs to be done? If you want to, if you want to be a commercial artist who has some financial success in addition to the creative success. And very often, one of the things that we find is that the goals that they have don't fit with the lifestyle that they want. So I've had several artists that I've worked with before who say, I would love to be a professional artist and have that be my only career. And so we go into the numbers of it, and I ask them, how much money do you want to make? I'd like to make $80,000 a year, okay? And how many pieces a year are you capable of painting or making? And we go into it and we do all of the numbers, and one of the things that they realize is that maybe their output isn't high enough to reach that goal, or maybe their pricing is not high enough to reach that goal. And when they see the amount of work that goes into selling that amount, that also is not in line with the way that they want to spend their time. So one of the first questions that I ask when people come to me to ask for strategies and plans and business plans and stuff like that is, how do you want to spend your time? If you want to spend your time, in any way, shape, or form, I think that needs to inform your goal setting. One of the things that happens a lot of times is that people don't answer that question very thoroughly before they get started with their plan. And then they get into a plan and they make commitments that ultimately end up being kind of self-defeating because they're not in line with the way that people want to have their lifestyle, with the lifestyle that they really desire. So one of the things that I've looked at for myself is that I love the work that I do, the creative work that I do, and I love the relationship work that I do in the business that I have. And those are the ways that I want to spend 90% of my time. So the things that I don't enjoy are the administrative tasks, accounting, things like that, any kind of number work, any kind of analytics, anything like that. I'd rather hand that off and let somebody else tell me what they are. So that's all good. So for me, the things that I know that I want to do during my day is I love to start my day with creative activities. So the first couple of hours, I want a solid 90-minute to 2-hour block of absolute creative time. After that, I'm happy to spend the next 3 to 4 hours in conversations with people. And then I like to end my day with things like email, social media, and stuff like that. Now, one of the things that starts to happen for me, if I start my day with email and social media, very often the thing that doesn't get done is the creative time. So within the way that I want to spend my time, there's a structure there that actually helps me to cover all of the bases that I have for all of my goals. So I can make a better plan knowing how I want my days to show up. Michael Hyatt is an author, and he has a template that I think you can actually go to his website and download. It's called Your Perfect Week. And he actually is very structured about things. And Michael was the CEO of Thomas Nelson Publishers for a number of years. And he is someone that I think just has exceptional organizational skills compared to mine. But his Perfect Week exercise was really a great reflective tool to kind of go through and design the week that you want to have. Now, I like to break it down even more, and I like to just say, how do I want my day to unfold? What does that look like from the time that I wake up until the time that I go to bed? How do I really want that time to be spent? And that allows me to make decisions as I start to plan that are more in line with my preferences, my values, who I am, the things that I like, the things that I don't like, so I can create my plan around the lifestyle that I want, rather than having my lifestyle be based on the plans that I make. One of the things that I found was that when I, was so focused on planning first and not considering my lifestyle, the plans that I made tended to not be as successful. And a big part of that was that they were outside of kind of my normal rhythm of operating. Now, that's not to say that I can't adapt and that I can't stretch and I can't try new things. But what I found was that if I made a plan that was outside of the context of the way that I like my day to happen, those plans had a greater tendency for failure, or I had to adapt them, right? But once I started to really create my plans around the rhythm of life that I like, all of a sudden I was able to get more things done. I was able to be satisfied with the accomplishments that I made during the day. And at the end of the night, I was tired and I didn't have a whole lot left on my mind because all of the bases had been covered during the day. Just that one simple exercise made that happen. So one of the things that I encourage people to do before we get into planning, tell me about the best day of your life. Tell me about what it looks like if you have your best day. What are the ways that unfolds for you? And from there, we can create a plan that I think you're going to really love. Until then, we don't want your lifestyle to be at the mercy of the plans that you make. We want it to go in the other direction. So those are my thoughts for today on this late Sunday afternoon, the middle of November. I appreciate your time and your attention as always, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another coffee break. Thank you again. So long.